Hi guys, welcome back, and a real welcome back as well to Active with Amy. It's been 13 weeks since I've last sat down and done any kind of video whatsoever, which seems really crazy. But when we were last having this conversation about going into work and not feeling guilty and, keeping on top of all of the things, the routine with the children, coming back into work this time, it's absolutely floored me. Absolutely knackered. Cannot string a band together even if I tried, kind of thing. I found it really hard. It was really tiring. Like, I just cannot explain to you. I would finish work some days. When I first went back into work, I didn't see my children for like 4 days at a time. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was working like 12 and a half hours every day. It was absolutely crazy. Everybody wanted their hair done, and I basically dedicated myself to getting everybody's hair done. And currently my children have been put back into quarantine because their schools have closed down, which has led me to have another 2 weeks off. That's brought me to this point, which is quite frustrating because you can imagine going back into work after all that time off. It was pretty hard for me to just get a rhythm, just get a flow going again. And I feel like I just got that flow going again. And here I am, back off work, homeschooling, the whole lot. And I'm feeling like I don't know what to do with myself, because I know that this video could be the first one, and then in 2 weeks time I don't post anything for another 6 weeks. But for blog purposes, for my purposes and what I want to do this for, it's pretty important that I do a catch-up video right now. So going back into work, the reason why I didn't post a video is because it was honestly the last thing on my mind. Children's school, so getting up, doing the school run, making sure that they've got everything, making sure that I've booked everybody at work, that I've got all my stock, that all the salon's clean, and uniforms are clean, the house is clean, the cooking's done, and just everything. That kind of took over a massive part of me doing any kind of content. I didn't work out. I've not worked out properly for 10 weeks. The past 3 weeks I've been bitting and bobbing in and out of the gym, like baby steps, but nothing major. I mean, I don't look terrible for it. I've not lost a lot of weight, but I have been keeping up with some, and when I say some, I mean like once a week, a little home workout, because I've honestly just been that tired, and I've got notes and everything to go by for this video. So the routine change from going to having all the time in the world to myself to then having to work like a 50-hour week in 4 days. Mind-bending. Absolutely mind-bending. To see me come from a position where I had all this time where I could do the homeschooling, fit in my workouts, good food routine, just everything was a good routine with my skin, my hair. And I went back to work, and honestly, a lot of it just flatlined in front of me. I was like, oh, Amy, this is crazy. I just lay on the bed, go to sleep. I wouldn't get up. I was missing meals. I just got myself into a right state, but it was a work state. I was totally burnt out at this point. And then I had to start just reducing my hours back and working like a 9 till 5. And then even more so because I still wasn't at home for the children finishing school. So Wednesday, Thursday, I now finish at 3 o'clock. And I'm making more time for my family and myself instead of just, hair. And my clients are very important to me, but not as important as what my family is. My children in this case was my priority, is my priority still. But again, another reason why videoing and taking content was put to one side was because keeping on top of me being at work and keeping on top of the habits that I wanted to change with my children that I'd noticed through lockdown, and still keeping on that route required me to again drop making content, because it was more important for me to be there for my children, know that they were heading in the right direction, and continually heading in the right direction. That penny has kind of dropped now. So again, we're sort of like onto new pastures, as you call it, a new year of problems and like different things that they're going to be needing to adjust and change and things like that. Then we went on to training and working out. Even still now, I drag myself into the gym. It's been one of these things where I was so positive when I had all of my own time that having to segregate that time down and split it into so many different things, being a partner, being a mum, being a cleaner for this house, being a cook for this family, you know, just being a stylist and running a business and making sure that everything's all above board, leaves you with absolutely no time for yourself whatsoever. I don't care what anybody says. I work 4 days a week, but I have 2 children, my house. I have other things as well that I don't really want to go into because it's not that kind of conversation. And yeah, it just threw me into a very sad, low, frustrated period because I had no time to myself. I couldn't understand how I'd gone from being such a happy, positive person to being just this workhorse, basically. And it really showed me how you really do need to utilise your time. There is not enough time in your life to just go to work or just go to the gym or just post content or just to look after a member of family or, you know, just look after your children in their education or just look after your relationship. You really have to segregate yourself down, but it is truly all about balance. Without balance, you just don't have any sense of control. And that's what it is as a person. You will never get anywhere in life if you do not feel like you're in control of the situation that you're in. And honestly, my situation over the past 13 weeks has been an absolute snowball effect. Like, things got built up, got really big, and then the snowball got thrown and it just smashed into 1,000 million pieces. And then we went again with the routine. I kept stopping and starting because it just wasn't right. I just couldn't get it right. My whole body was just like, why can you not get all 5, 6, 7 corners of your world rolling at one time? Do the school run, go to work, do the cooking, do the cleaning, you know, pay attention to your children's education and their needs and listen to them and, you know, make content and, you know, be active, go to the gym and, you know, communicate with your friends and have a life. It's the hardest job ever to just have everything rolling at the same time. It's the most exhausting job trying to make everything roll at one time. It can just make you feel like you're not doing anything right, when honestly, you are doing something right because you're trying to get it right. Even God didn't get it right in one day. Do you know what I mean? In one go. He had to drown the old earth and put Noah on his ark, and 2 by 2, we just recreated this thing again and we started again. Don't be afraid of not getting it right the first, the second, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. Just keep trying and everything will sit into balance. It will even itself out. It will balance itself out. The thing is here is that you have to have faith in yourself, that you are doing the right thing. You are trying to do the right thing. The only time that it feels like you're not doing the right thing is when you've over exhausted yourself in an area and it's not working. At that point, you need to drag yourself back, sit and have a look at the big picture that's in front of you and say, really though, what is it that you need to change? And I kept having to do it. Go to bed earlier, get up earlier, do things at different times of day, like putting the wash on at night and having it ready for the morning and doing all of these different things that I would do when I was working. I'd forgotten about them all through lockdown because I just had all of my time to myself. I didn't have to segregate it and you know, like make it separate to what it was that I was doing at that time. What I was doing at that time is exactly what I was doing and what I wanted to be doing, compared to having to fit things in and having to do things when they are scheduled. Nothing was free fall anymore, and that's what I loved more than anything, was the free fall of the day. You could do things when you felt like doing them and when you wanted to do them, not when you had to do them, because if you don't do it now, you're not going to do that today. Going from a structure to a non-structure that was non-structure just because it was everything I wanted to do. Nobody else played a part in my day in COVID, in lockdown. But there is tons of people that play a position in my day when I am a full, just normal working person, the same hours that everybody else has in one day. And I found that me having to take this 2 weeks off as yet again just showed me how much I enjoy having my own time and how imperative it is that I get this routine off the back end of this right. And I sit there and I say this now, but in 3 weeks' time, the children are on 6 weeks holidays. Yay! But then on the other hand, no. Because now I have no time to myself again. When I finish work, the children are there. When I, you know, have my Monday and Tuesday off, the children are there. So again, it goes back to me having that free fall of time. But then, is that also going to be an interruption? Because I keep being thrown out of these worlds where you have your time, you don't have your time. But in COVID time, I really enjoyed it. I can't lie. I mourn COVID days, some days. Those days where you just, you know, you're up at 7 a.m. and you go downstairs and you make yourself a smoothie and then you start to cook the kids breakfast and they have their homeschooling, and then on lunch you do a workout and they have their dinner, and then you go back to schooling again, and then they finish and you go out for a walk. And then you come back in and you feel like doing another workout, so you do another workout and then you cook tea. And then at that point, you know, you could think to yourself, like late at night, like, oh, you know, I'll just do a little skin routine video and I'll do this and then I'll do that. There is no interruption whatsoever other than my work. And, you know, it's more and more being shown to me how important it is to actually just enjoy and live your own life and not sort of put work as the most important thing in your life. It's not money, and your work isn't the most important thing in your life. It is definitely your self-happiness, like what makes you tick as a person. And don't ever let that go. Like, no matter what you're faced with, or no matter what, you know, you feel like is going on and it's not working, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to not be that person that can continually be consistently consistent. Consistency, you cannot always provide to all areas of your life. At some point, there will be a point in your life where you can only be consistent in a couple of different areas, because it is very important that when you're going through these big changes in your life, that you just look after yourself and you don't put too much pressure on your own shoulders. I know that I used to panic and worry too much about what my clients would think, but at the end of the day, I'm a mother first. I'm myself first. And that is the most important thing, that you put yourself first in your business, in your family, in your personal life. Put yourself first. Try and make that time for yourself in that area, because a lot of the time when it is just about somebody else, you can feel pretty much misunderstood, and taking back control of that is not a bad thing. And it doesn't matter, as I say, how many times you have to do it. Throughout this past 13 weeks, I have not even got my routine into a position where I thought I could even post a video. I was just too consumed by my family life, and that's absolutely fine because family is first, guys. And you know what? I hope that you are all taking care of yourself and making yourself happy. My business, what I do for other people, it makes me happy, but this makes me very happy. I am on 2 weeks leave at the moment, but when I go back, I'm gonna really try and just schedule in more time for my content making because it is very important to me. So you'll probably see a fluster of videos coming your way over the next few days, but it is just because I am back around in my own active life, and I do find it very hard to speak about what it is that's going on at the time because it sounds like gobbledygook. It doesn't sound like it's coming out right, but yeah, getting everything on the train again, kids back at school, getting everything back on the train again, kids back at school, me back at work, school runs, after school clubs, different pickup times, you know, having to fit everything in has been a mission for me this time. So if anybody else is feeling that way, just know it is very normal. It is okay to have a break. Never feel guilty for taking time to look after yourself and changes in your situations. In life, I think it will always happen when you go through a change and you're faced with something that is a problem. It's not a problem if you're trying, and for as long as you're trying, you're doing the right thing, you're heading in the right direction. So yeah, don't give yourself a hard time for finding it hard to just bounce back. Sometimes bounce back just doesn't bounce back as quick as it did the last time or the time before. So don't compare yourself. Be relaxed, just be in your situation and go with it, because at the end of the day, like today, you will sit down and you will redo something that you once really enjoyed. But for now, it's just a pause. But then we get to press play like now. And that's the beauty of taking back control and investing in your own happiness. So have a lovely day. Mwah. Over and out from Active with Amy. I think I'm going to be posting a little makeup video because I had a little Primark haul. And yeah, it will be nice to get back into the swing of it. So, mwah. Bye guys.